Universal Studios Hollywood rolled out the red carpet for the premiere of Jurassic World: The Ride. Human members of the Jurassic World cast and crew talked about the franchise's upcoming third movie.
It's the movie I've been waiting to make the whole time. It's the movie that I'm so excited about, and it is different than anything that you've seen before. This is what we've been building to.
It's so fun. Like, getting to be a part of these movies is not just a privilege, like, it is a joy.
Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt signed autographs and posed for selfies with fans at the premiere of Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. DiCaprio plays an actor in the movie and talked about being able to relate to his character.
Honestly, I felt like I knew who this guy was. I've grown up in LA. I know these stories. I know I hit the lottery very early on, but the struggles and the insecurity of this actor, trying to remain relevant, and the torture of that was something. I just knew who this guy, Rick Dalton, was.
You have made it 100 miles to freedom all by yourself. Would you like to pick a new name to mark your freedom?
Harriet Tubman.
Here is a first look at Harriet. The historical biopic stars Cynthia Erivo as Harriet Tubman. The movie will premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival in September with a wide release slated for November 1st. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
And Monday night, Jurassic Park just opened too, Universal Studios. So pretty big things happening.
And of course, you know, if you need your Jurassic fix in Hawaii, of course, we have our own connection to that right here on Oahu, right? The ranch, yeah?
Oh, yeah, there we go. I was like, sure, we have dinosaurs.
That's right. Jurassic Park filmed across Hawaii and Kauai as well. So we are excited for that dino news.
For sure.
So this morning's top headlines, weather and traffic before you head out the door, coming up right now.
Now, from KITV4 Island News, this is Good Morning Hawaii.
Welcome back to Good Morning Hawaii. We do have the very latest now on Special Counsel Robert Mueller's testimony. Right now, he is being grilled by Congress in Washington, D.C. We'll take you there live straight ahead.
And the governor on Mauna Kea for the first time will have the latest on the situation unfolding on the Big Island.
Also, we'll take you out live to Waikiki, where we are getting reports of several box jellyfish. What you need to look out for still to come. And welcome back to Good Morning Hawaii. It is July 24th, 2019.
Yeah, definitely a lot to get to today, including, as we mentioned, Washington, D.C. But first, we want to kick things off back here in the islands as you're heading out the door. What's it looking like, Tasia?
Well, I can't believe it's only Wednesday, but the good news is that's all right.
Almost Friday.
And the trade winds are going to help us get over that hump for today. We do have windy conditions that will continue from the east, pushing out a lot of that instability due to that low system that was just right below our state, moving toward the northwest at the moment. We are waking up to some partly cloudy conditions, especially more so for our Kauai, and that's because it's closer to that disturbance. Humidity levels are just a bit higher for this morning, and that's due to the cloud coverage and added moisture, but we do have that typical trade wind pattern that will continue for today in the long period of time due to our trade winds planning to stick around. So showers for windward and Mauka areas. Winds will build up even more so. Lihue already getting 14-mile-per-hour winds. Temperature highs for Kahului at the moment 72, 80 for Lihue, but about 20 degrees spike up for Kahului around your midday. We are expecting around 92 and 90 for Honolulu. So a hot day ahead. That disturbance toward the northwest of Kauai will continue to move toward the northwest, giving us sunnier conditions by the afternoon. Elsewhere, nice and sunny conditions throughout the remaining of the day. We will see those trade showers for windward and Mauka areas later tonight. Again, that's with your trade wind pattern for the next few days. Our surf for the east 3 to 5, 2 to 4 for the south. Now here's a look at your traffic. We are taking camera before traffic because we need to start off our day a little better than what we're seeing on the roadways. Beautiful live photo if you can take a look outside. Beautiful showers giving us this beautiful view of the rainbow. So definitely good start to the day. We'll expect to see a nice, wonderful day pan out and actually a nice week pan out for the weekend, breezy and sunny. Now for your traffic. We do have that accident on the H1 eastbound direction right before Aiea Heights overpass. Some more good news. It is now out of the way. All lanes are able to make its way through, but slow going traffic because of this incident backed up toward the H1 H2 merge. As you can see, pretty much gridlock. So keep in mind the zipper lane and your alternate route on Kamehameha Highway, which now has light to moderate traffic. Over to you.
All right, I want to turn now to the highly anticipated testimony of former special counsel Robert Mueller. It's been happening all morning, and it's still going on right now on Capitol Hill there as it's noon in Washington, D.C. Now, earlier in the day, he was actually speaking with the House Judiciary Committee. He's now switched over to the House Intelligence Committee. And as we mentioned, they have been grilling him for 4 hours now, and we want to head on over to that in just a second.
The topic at hand, the nearly 2-year investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. And right now we're just learning Robert Mueller deferred or declined to answer questions from Congress at least 111 times. Now, of those instances, Mueller referred members of Congress to his report at least 39 times. We'll take a listen in to the testimony happening right now.
Does not have to succeed to be a crime, right?
True.
Simply attempting to obstruct justice can be a crime, correct?
Yes.
So even though the president's aides refused to carry out his orders to interfere with your investigation, that is not a defense to obstruction of justice by this president, is it?
I'm not going to speculate.
So to reiterate, simply trying to obstruct justice can be a crime, correct?
Yes.
And you say that the president's efforts to influence the investigation were, quote, mostly unsuccessful. And that's because not all of his efforts were unsuccessful, right?
You're reading into what we've written in the report.
I was going to ask you if you could just tell me which ones you had in mind as successful when you wrote that sentence.
I'm going to pass on that.
Yeah. Director Mueller, today we've talked a lot about the separate acts by this president, but you also wrote in your report that, quote, the overall pattern of the president's conduct.
Now, again, the big question there has been obstruction of justice, as we've heard throughout all this, and you hear that Congresswoman asking him some questions about that. Certainly a lot of questions in the report about that. Of course, we heard a lot of headlines, President Trump trying to kind of do anything that he could to stop the Mueller's investigation as he continued there. Again, it sounds like she was asking him about that as well.
And so, of course, again, we are continuing to follow the very latest on former special counsel Robert Mueller's testimony on Capitol Hill this morning, currently being grilled by Congress. And of course, you did just hear him right there evade another question. So reports of him evading questions or deferring or refusing to answer questions over 100 times now.
And as he kind of replies, he keeps kind of going back to, well, you know, I wrote this report, just look at the report, but certainly it seems like there was a lot of vague detail in there, especially when it came to the obstruction of justice and what specifically was done. So it seems like they're trying to get to more of the bottom of that, but seems to be evading some of those questions. But we'll, of course, continue to stay on top of that and bring you the latest online and on air with that. All right, I want to switch gears again here to Mauna Kea. After a week of declaring an emergency proclamation, Governor David Ige finally set foot on Mauna Kea.
Now, his visit was brief, but for the first time ever, he did refer to demonstrators as protectors of the mountain rather than protesters. And he spoke with both kupuna and leaders and was greeted with hula during protocol hours. Governor Ige left responsibility of state and county efforts for the TMT project with Hawaii County Mayor Harry Kim.
And a circuit judge in Hilo denied a request for a temporary restraining order to stop construction of the 30-meter telescope. Now, many of the opponents of the telescope packed that courtroom in Hilo yesterday morning. Now, based on a state plan approved back in 1977, they tried to argue that TMT required a bond with the Board of Natural Resources equal to the total cost of building it. Now, TMT stated that there's limited time during the year to try and construct it before the severe cold weather hits the Big Island in the winter. It also says it's taking a financial hit because of those ongoing protests, but the TMT does say that Mauna Kea still remains their top choice.
And for the very latest on the tension over TMT, stay with us on air and online. And there's also a special section dedicated to Mauna Kea on our website at kitv.com.
All right, well, we've been talking about this all morning. It's pretty interesting. I didn't know that. You know, with the full moon, about a week later, you got to start watching out for box jellyfish if you're heading out to the beach.
And KITV4's Mackenzie Stasko live in Waikiki this morning with more on where you might see them and for how long. Good morning, Mackenzie.
Yeah, Lindsay, Tom, good morning. As you mentioned, the box jellyfish typically tend to come out and swarm between 8 and 10 days after a full moon. And as Tasia mentioned, all the shores could potentially see them, but specifically the south and east facing shores are usually the most susceptible. Now, if you've never seen a box jellyfish, this is what it looks like. It's clear. It's typically difficult to see in the water. And if you've never gotten stung before, some people tell me it feels like you're getting stung by multiple bees. Now, during the Memorial Day weekend, that's when there was another box jellyfish swarm. Again, about 8 to 10 days after the full moon, lifeguards here throughout Waikiki counted about 5,000 of them in the water, and those that, of course, washed up on shore. They also tell us that over the weekend, about 1,000 people were stung. So we do want to mention, again, if you do get stung, make sure you head to one of the lifeguard stands. But we are back out here live at Kuhio Beach in Waikiki. You may see some people in blue shirts down there on the sand holding those white buckets. Those are volunteers with the Knights of Columbus, and they come out every month, again, 8 to 10 days after a full moon to help pick up any box jellyfish that they see on the shoreline. We'll hear from them coming up within the next half hour. For now, though, we'll send it back to you inside.
Good advice. You don't want to mess with jellyfish. I was just surprised in that video that we just showed, you know, some people are just picking them up to take an Instagram picture with a jellyfish. Don't want to do that.
Definitely not.
All right, well, time now 6:09, and coming up, we'll have your morning shakos.
Now we'll take a look at how a special shopping event will help those looking to turn a new leaf. You're watching Good Morning Hawaii. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
It's the Honda Summer Spectacular event. That means more euphoric feelings that come from getting a great deal on a Honda CR-V or HR-V. Or from getting a Pilot or Passport. All part of 2019's best SUV brand. Hurry in today and experience the joy for yourself.
Get a great deal on the Honda Pilot, part of 2019's best SUV brand, at the Honda Summer Spectacular event.
One of my biggest things is getting solar on my property, and Haleakala was the first option for sure, and electricity has gone down $10 to $20 a month.
By installing the system on our house, both the PV and the hot water, we save about $250 a month, and the system already paid itself off.
Any home that has solar, when you either go rent it or go sell it, it's very beneficial to the owner.
I mean, I've already recommended it to my neighbors, so they're thinking about doing it too.
Electric bills at that time were anywhere from $160 to $250 a month.
The company locally takes a real interest, I think, in their people and their customers, and I thought that was something that really surprised me.
That's right, bundle and save with an instant 5% discount off solar, a new roof, energy storage, or a solar water heating system. Bundle any home improvement projects and save up to 10% off. Plus, take advantage of 0 down 24-month, same as cash financing. Just call 808-419-3586. That's 808-419-3586.
The plaza is a small community. You will definitely find a group.
We play cards every day. We get to talking and forget the time.
The people make it feel like home.
The Plaza Assisted Living is opening a new community in Kaneohe this summer. Call us today to schedule a tour to view our new model apartment units and find out why so many are choosing to make the Plaza home.
KITV.com news sponsored by Slumber World. Wherever you go, KITV4 Island News goes with you. Get updated news, traffic, and weather on your mobile devices at KITV.com or download the KITV News and Weather app now. Sponsored by Hawaii State FCU. Always right by you.
Time now 6:10. 12 and so beautiful in Hilo, Hawaii. Definitely just setting the tone for today. We will continue to get just very light, isolated showers, especially for the mountaintops for the next few hours for your morning and then into the evening, afternoon, more so for the leeward slopes. Mostly sunny elsewhere, but temperatures around 91 degrees for your lunchtime. Sunny as well for our Oahu, and then partly cloudy conditions will continue for Kauai County as that disturbance continues to move toward the northwest. Surf for the east 3 to 5, 2 to 4 for the south, with high tide around 11 o'clock today at a foot. Box jellyfish, higher chances today throughout Friday, lingering around over your Saturday. Weekend plans, we do have breezy and sunny conditions. Now here's a look outside on the roads. We still have that major accident pulled over to the right shoulder, now partially blocking a lane. So we are having just a few eastbound lanes on the H1 before Aiea Heights overpass able to pass by. As you can see, FSP, EMS, and HPD all on scene, clearing up that scene. The zipper lane is your best bet, your alternate route on Kamehameha Highway. We're starting to see more buildup, especially through the beginning of Pro City, clearing up throughout the stadium. But the traffic on the freeways, you can see pretty much gridlock all the way throughout Ka'ahumanu. And as you make your way in on the H1, H2 merge, it is backed up now through Waikele and even through Kunia just a bit. So again, prepare for a slow morning. Unless you want to carpool, the zipper lane is your best bet. Over to you.
Well, you already know what that sound is. Time for some morning shakas this morning, and today they're going out to the YWCA of Oahu.
That's right. They'll be holding a 2-day shopping event that helps women transition out of incarceration. Now, the Shopping with a Mission showcases handcrafted items created with the Women's Community Correctional Center in Kailua, and they include blankets, clothing, jewelry, and books created by women. And the event is from 10 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon today and tomorrow, and the YWCA Laniakea building in Honolulu is where it all takes place.
All right, well, calling all farmers, you can now apply for community farming parcels on Maui. Mahipono, which bought former sugarcane land on Maui, is offering up to 10-acre parcels along Maui Veterans Highway in Pu'unene. Its goal is to boost local food production. Now, the lease rates are $150 per acre per year. For more information on how to apply, just visit our website at KITV.com. I think that's might be your new career, Lindsay.
No, you think so?
Yeah.
Farming on Maui?
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. Get to live on Maui.
My parents, they had horses on some acres, and I would fall right off of them. So I don't know. I don't know if it's my calling.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we do have much more to get to this half hour, and including a live look right now. This is a gorgeous
look at that
rainbow.
Yeah, it was a double rainbow a couple minutes ago. Now it's still there. It's so beautiful out there as the sun rises over the Big Island. Just going to let you have that before we go to break. Stay with us. You're watching Good Morning Hawaii. Time now 6:15.
It's a store-wide flooring sale at American Carpet One Floor & Home. Flooring from as low as 99 cents a square foot. The 4th of July store-wide flooring sale at American Carpet One Floor & Home. Thursday, July 4th only.
So you're with the UPS store?
Yes. In fact, we printed these right here.
I thought you guys just did shipping.
No, we do printing, packing, faxing, notarizing, shredding, mailboxing, designing, returning, storing, crating. Oh, and of course, shipping.
So you're into shipping?
We also do printing, packing, faxing.
Come into the UPS store today for everything your small business needs. And of course, shipping.
Need mailboxing? We have just the thing for you. Visit the UPS store today.
I'm Nicole Kalakau. I'm a trial lawyer at Levitt, Yamane & Soldner. There's no greater feeling than helping people who are at their lowest of lows. I hope you never need us. But if you do, we'll do all we can to help.
Hawaii self-storage. Oh, Hawaii self-storage. Box 'em, pack 'em, store 'em, lock 'em.
Enter to win a trip for two to a pro football preseason game in San Francisco on August 10th.
All you have to do is go to any Foodland location, find the Miller Lite display, and scan the QR code on the poster for your chance to win round-trip air travel, hotel, and tickets to the game at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara.
The Pro Football preseason flyaway promotion is courtesy of KITV4 Island Television. At American Carpet One Floor and Home, our installers are certified and employees of our company.
We proudly stand behind everything we do. We install your flooring the right way and on time.
American Carpet One Floor and Home, your flooring experts.
Only CMA Fest has country's biggest stars performing their hottest hits. And the first time ever, Lil Nas X, Billy Ray Cyrus, and Keith Urban perform the hit Old Town Road. CMA Fest! Sunday, August 4th on ABC.
Time now 6:18. Mahalo, Steve, for this island pick for today, shaping up to be another beautiful day. We are seeing our winds come in from the east about up to 15 to 25 miles per hour. That disturbance toward the northwest will continue to lift off toward the northwest. Just a few partly cloudy conditions that will linger around for our Kauai and then clear up by the afternoon. Oahu, especially sunny skies, will start to come in for the leeward side, up to 90 for Kapolei, 85 for our north shore, and 86 for Waimanalo. Breezier conditions throughout Maui County, expecting up to 92 for Kahului. Temperatures 88 for Ho'olehua, 83 for our Lanai. Hawaii Island dealing with a few trade showers, especially for the east side and up Hamakua Coast, clearing up throughout the day. Now temperature highs for Kailua Kona also expecting in the lower 90s, so definitely a hot day ahead with a leeward cloud coverage making its way in by the afternoon. Your surf for the east 3 to 5, 2 to 4 for the south with high tide around 11 o'clock, and weekend plans breezy and sunny. Now here's a look at your traffic. Now we have reports of 2 accidents around Aiea Heights overpass on the H1 eastbound direction. Again, the shoulder and that right lane is blocked. Very slow moving traffic that is backed up all the way throughout Waikele. We are seeing some slow going traffic after Aiea Heights overpass for just a bit. Moanalua Freeway and the viaduct is clear after that. Your East Side Drive has been clear pretty much all morning. So just keep in mind your zipper lane, your alternate route on Kamehameha Highway now has some moderate buildup at the beginning of Pearl City, and then it clears up closer to the stadium. But definitely expect a pretty slow morning this morning due to that accident. Again, H1 eastbound before Aiea Heights overpass. Over to you.
Tasia, thank you. Time now 6:20, and a dramatic standoff with immigration agents in Tennessee, all caught on camera. Neighbors and activists form a human chain to stop ICE officials from taking a man into custody.
Yeah, Steve Osinsami gives us a first look at what's coming up on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, this is the scene playing out in cities across the country. Neighbors taking on ICE agents. In Nashville, they formed this human chain, successfully blocking 2 immigration agents from taking away a father who's lived here for the last 14 years. He was inside the white van with his son.
We would have did it for a million other families. We'll do it today, we'll do it tomorrow. This is what America is all about.
Even the sheriff refused a call to the scene, saying in a statement this morning that his office does not in any way participate in ICE raids. In Kansas City, this family was broadcasting live on Facebook as ICE agents moved in to detain the husband. The officers smashed the window. Coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have more on new rules from Homeland Security and what they mean for hundreds of thousands of unauthorized immigrants. For your GMA First Look, I'm Steve Osinsami, ABC News, Atlanta.
At Airwick, we know that in nature, scent comes in waves, gently and beautifully. Airwick Essential Mist is an expression of nature. Voted best innovation in air care, it transforms natural essential oils into a fragrant mist. Simply adjust your setting for the perfect balance, and it gently fills the room, pausing when it's just right. Experience Essential Mist, the latest in air care by Airwick. New Crest Gum and Sensitivity.
And then I jump on the trampoline. Ah, brain freeze.
No, it's my teeth.
Your teeth hurt?
Sensitivity. Gotta do something about it.
80% of sensitivity starts at the gum line. So treat sensitivity at the source.
New Crest Gum and Sensitivity starts treating sensitivity immediately at the gum line for relief within days and wraps your teeth in sensitivity protection.
Oh, your teeth? No, it's brain freeze.
Crest. Healthy, beautiful smiles for life.
Time now, 6:22, and coming up in the next half hour of Good Morning Hawaii, a lot to get to.
Yeah, the joy of sake, though. We'll have some special guests live in studio with a preview of this special celebration. Time now, 6:23. We'll be right back.
You try hard. You eat right, mostly. You make time when you can. But sometimes life gets in the way, and that stubborn fat just won't go away. Cool Sculpting takes you further. A non-surgical treatment that targets, freezes, and eliminates treated fat cells. For good. Discuss Cool Sculpting with your doctor. Some common side effects include temporary numbness, discomfort, and swelling. Don't imagine results. See them. Cool Sculpting. Take yourself further.
Summer's not stopping or slowing down. Hurry into the Acura Summer Performance event going on now.
Lease the 2019 TLX for $299 a month for well-qualified customers. Visit your local Acura dealer today.
You try mattresses when you're awake, but our exclusive Smart Match technology can determine the support you need while you're sleeping. And since we'll match any competitor's offer, you can feel confident you'll be getting a better night's sleep at a price that's just right. Be BedSmart. Shop BedMart.
Pack your bags and be ready to go to Las Vegas instantly with Vacations Hawaii and KITV4 Island News. Enter at KITV.com and watch Good Morning Hawaii to see if you're the winner. Be ready to go to Vegas with Vacations Hawaii that week. Pack your bags. We go Vegas.
I gotta talk to you about that haircut, player.
Steve wants you to remember.
I used to have one of them, man.
Sometimes it's the little things.
I like old school music, especially Miss Patti LaBelle.
You know how small this hat is? You can see my entire forehead.
That count the most.
How does it make you feel helping out homeless people?
Like a real life superhero, saving the day.
Steve, today at 10 on KITV.
Summer's not stopping or slowing down. Hurry into the Acura Summer Performance event going on now.
Owners of select competitive vehicles can lease a 2019 RDX for $379 a month.
You know, you don't need to wait on the sun to say Good Morning Hawaii.
Lots of people are up before dawn, and we are too.
Join Good Morning Hawaii weekdays at 4:30 in the morning to get an early start on everything you need for your day.
Mom's finally finding her sea legs, and she's about 10 minutes from a hotel by Wyndham. He's having the best day ever, and he's about 10 minutes from a Wyndham. With over 6,000 hotels across the country, a great hotel by Wyndham is closer than you think. Visit WyndhamHotels.com.
All right, welcome back. We're pretty excited about this next one here. When you think of things that bring you joy, sake usually comes to mind, right? So
absolutely.
So what better way than the joy of sake? Joining this morning is Tasha. Good morning.
Good morning, man. How are you?
Good, good. Well, thanks for being up here super early. It's always good when you can have a little pick me up in the morning here. Yeah. But anyway, just tell me a little about the joy of sake and what it's all about.
So the joy of sake is we're a nonprofit organization. We're committed to spreading sake awareness and education. And one of the ways we do that is through events that we hold throughout the year. So we do several smaller events, and then we do the big Joy of Sake, which is actually the biggest sake festival outside of Japan. We host about 1,500 guests for this event. And this year we have over 500 different sakes that they can try, and 20 different amazing sake appetizers, some great chefs, Leanne Wong, Kevin Lee from Pai, Dean and DeLuca. So just a really fun time. There's a mix of the food element, the tasting element, and just music and a great time.
And just to back up to one thing you just said, you said sake awareness. I feel like I've heard of it. A lot of people have heard of it. What do you mean when you say that?
It's just the sake, the culture of sake and appreciation of sake. A lot of these sakes are actually brewed by hand. Most sakes are mass-produced by machines, but this is another level of sake. This is craft. Many of these breweries, for example, this Kuranohana here. This brewery has been around since 1660, just generation after generation, using the traditional methods. They could totally advance it using machinery and mass produce it, but they choose to keep that tradition alive.
And the smell coming in is really good. We got to wrap soon, but just real quick before we go, we'll have the details. But what's your favorite right here? If you had to pick.
Out of all of these, I would have to probably go with one of these lovely daiginjos here. Actually, half of the sakes that we are offering are the daiginjo. This is the highest level of
all right.
sake.
So you got to try that one out. Joy of Sake, we'll have all the details for you online. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you very much, man.
Appreciate it. We'll see you back here after the break. Stay with us.
Ashley Home Store Hawaii, affordable everyday style and comfort, ideal for the whole family to love.
At Ashley Home Store, we make it easy to bring your dream home to life because we're constantly updating our selection online and in-store. Discovering furniture that fits your changing needs and personal style is easy, exciting, and fun. And with incredible financing and delivery options, you'll never have to put off for tomorrow what you can start enjoying today. So hurry in and make yourself at home, only at America's #1 furniture and mattress store, Ashley Home Store, Hawaii. This is home.
It's a store-wide flooring sale at American Carpet One Floor & Home. Flooring from as low as 99 cents a square foot. The 4th of July store-wide flooring sale at American Carpet One Floor & Home. Thursday, July 4th only.
For a limited time, lease a brand new Acura TLX for only $266 a month from Acura of Honolulu.
St. Francis Healthcare System is creating something new and exciting. The St. Francis Kupuna Village in Liliha. The former hospital campus is being transformed into a health and wellness community for seniors and their caregivers, featuring a skilled nursing facility and an array of physicians in different specialties, with future plans for assisted living and independent living and a senior community center. Call today for more information. St. Francis Healthcare System, creating healthy communities for Hawaii's families.
At American Carpet One Floor & Home, our installers are certified and employees of our company.
We proudly stand behind everything we do. We install your flooring the right way and on time.
American Carpet One Floor & Home, your flooring experts.
Living with diabetes can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Discover an innovative way to better manage your diabetes with Ekahi Wellness. We focus on lifestyle improvements in your nutrition, emotional well-being, exercise, and your medical management, all under one roof. Our team of passionate professionals partner with you and your doctor so you can live with more energy, increase time for work and family, and take control of your diabetes. Your first consultation is at no cost to you, so call us today.
KITV4 Island News Medical Minute, sponsored by Ekahi Wellness.
Now, from KITV4 Island News, this is Good Morning Hawaii.
Good morning and welcome back on this Hump Day Wednesday. Time now 6:30.
I'll get you right back outside with your weather and traffic. Tasia, things are looking good today.
That's right. That disturbance that we had a couple days ago south of the state that gave us those cloudy conditions, now pulling off toward the northwest. Clear in Honolulu, partly cloudy for the windward areas of Kaneohe, and then we are seeing some scattered showers, typical with our trade winds today, coming in about 10 to 25 miles per hour. So our winds are expected to stick around for a long stretch of time. So that means that typical trade wind pattern will also continue mornings and evenings. The trade showers focus on windward and Mauka areas, and then partly cloudy conditions just a bit for Kauai County because of that disturbance so close. But as you can see, pockets of sunshine rolling on in, more so around 2 o'clock. Easterly winds also picking up just a bit. Light scattered showers over the Ko'olaus and nice sunny conditions all the way through with temperatures in the upper 80s. Maui County breezier as well as a bit hotter. We are expecting up to 92 for Kahului, especially around your midday. But the good news is northeasterly winds up to 20 will help cut through the heat. Hawaii Island, we will see some partly cloudy conditions continue for Hilo, Hawaii, partly cloudy for the leeward slopes in the afternoon. Your surf forecast for these 3 to 5, 2 to 4 for the south, box jellyfish today through Saturday. Small craft advisory Maui throughout Hawaii Island, and high tide at a foot around 11 o'clock this morning. And we are seeing beautiful sunny conditions for the weekend. Now here's a look at your traffic. If you're heading to the North Shore today, Mokuleia, we do have lane closures on Farrington Highway southbound, beginning at Olalo Place. This is from 8:30 to 2:30. And the good news, that accident that we had right before Aiea Heights overpass has been cleared. As you can see, pretty much smooth going traffic after that overpass. But because of the accident, we've got gridlock that is backed up all the way throughout the H1, H2 merge. So just keep that in mind. Your zipper lane is the best bet with 2 or more in your vehicle. Moderate to heavy traffic now coming in from your alternate route on Kamehameha Highway, clearing up closer throughout the stadium. And then if you're coming in from the east side, nice clear conditions with moderate traffic through Hale Mau Mau. Over to you.
All right, turning now to the highly anticipated testimony of former special counsel Robert Mueller, happening right now on Capitol Hill, time in Washington about 12:30 in the afternoon. He's getting ready to appear in front of the House Intelligence Committee now.
No, it's expected to last for a couple hours. And earlier in the day, the House Judiciary Committee grilled Robert Mueller on his report on the Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election.
Yeah, certainly a lot of questions, but also some frustrations, as we mentioned, him giving one-word answers, not answering some questions referring to the report. But from that time, he's mentioned that during the investigation, more than 30 people were charged with federal crimes, including 12 officers of the Russian military. Out of that, 7 were convicted or pleaded guilty. Now, he's also been standing by his report, his extensive report that was released to Congress, saying that it does not exonerate President Donald Trump. He did confirm that the president asked staff to falsify records connected to the investigation. And although he can't be indicted for the action right now, he did say in the course of that questioning that he could actually be indicted later on after he's not president anymore.
And during today's hearing, Robert Mueller deferred or declined to answer questions from Congress at least 111 times, well over that now. And of those instances, well, Mueller referred members of Congress to his report at least 39 times.
Yes, certainly frustrating for some of the Democrats that organized this hearing, hoping to get a little bit more clarity on that report,
right.
But sometimes just saying, hey, look at my report, but also did also cut to the core of this, as we mentioned, the question of obstruction and whether he could be charged. They did say that he could, in fact, be charged later on, so that is something new. We'll, of course, continue to stay on top of this as it unfolds again the next couple hours and bring you the latest both online and on air. Stay with us across all social media platforms as well.
And we'll have a special report right after Good Morning Hawaii as well. Again, the Mueller testimony getting heated as Robert Mueller is grilled by members of Congress.
All right.
And now to news around the world this morning. Puerto Rico Governor Ricardo Rossello expected to resign today. And protesters have been demanding he step down from his position after hundreds of racist and misogynistic messages from a group chat of his were published. Now, if he does step down, the country's Secretary of Justice will take his place.
And the museum fire, Flagstaff, Arizona, continues to grow, now burning through 1,800 acres. Fire officials say 10% of that blaze is contained as of this morning. The flames started Sunday morning, forcing residents to evacuate, and the governor there has declared a state of emergency.
Well, flames aren't the only threat in Arizona, as rain bringing the threat of flooding right along the burn area. And Nicole Valdez has this story.
Oh my God! I could feel the power of it, and you certainly wouldn't want to be in the way of that.
What seemed like a never-ending flow of water, mud, and debris ate up everything around John Sullivan's home.
It really did look like a lava flow. But it's massive. It's unbelievable.
It happened just after this, the Schultz fire ripping through parts of the Ponderosa Pine Forest in 2010. But just days after the fire was out, his family in even more danger than before.
Do you feel like a flood like this could happen today, tomorrow?
Oh yes, that's very possible.
Sullivan warning everyone near the museum fire.
They need to take whatever measures they can in the short period of time that they have.
And most families heeding similar warnings from state and local officials.
We grabbed about 10. It's a very small place. We just have one wall to protect, so for us it's a minimal effort, but a lot of people have a lot more out here to protect.
County officials going door to door warning those at risk.
My advice to anybody is keep your children close and remove everything around your house that you want to keep in your possession, because it's going to be gone once the flood comes through.
Now that right there is Nicole Valdez reporting. And we do have more news back here in Hawaii, as Maui police have arrested an 18-year-old man who says that he accidentally started a brush fire in South Kihei while smoking marijuana.
Yeah, that's right. Trevor Osborne Senatore told police that embers from his pipe ignited a fire and that it just spread too fast for him to put it out. Now, he has been released pending further investigation. That fire burned about 80 acres of land.
And Maui police are worried that there could be a record number of traffic deaths this year. So far, 14 people died on Maui's roads compared to 18 at this time last year. A mother and son were the latest victims killed by a suspected drunk driver in Kihei. Police say alcohol and drugs played a factor in more than half of this year's crashes alone. Officers are asking for the public's kokua, and they want people to be on the lookout for erratic drivers and help make loved ones make better choices.
They weren't drinking alone. They're not hiding in a border drinking and then deciding to go drive. They're out with somebody else who could have taken the keys from them.
This year, Maui police have set up 73 DUI checkpoints on the Valley Isle, and they also plan to continue random screenings.
And we're following the death of 7-month-old Abigail Lobish, who died while in the care of her babysitter on the Aliamanu military reservation back in February. It's still unclear how a heavy amount of Benadryl was found in her system. Medical professional Dr. Paul Aiken with Kapiolani Medical Center says whether taken orally or topically, infants are at a much higher risk of fatal side effects.
So it is theoretically possible to be overdosed by inappropriate application of these ointments. Benadryl is a medicine that we don't frequently use or use with great caution in children younger than even 2 years of age.
Now, Dr. Aiken says some side effects of Benadryl include seizures, irregular heartbeats, mental status changes, and more. He emphasizes the importance of making sure to consult your pediatrician before you use it. All right, well, if you're heading to the beach, you might want to watch out for box jellyfish. Definitely don't want to get stung.
That's right. KITV4's Mackenzie Stasko live in Waikiki this morning with more on where you might see them and for how long. Good morning, Mackenzie.
Hey, Lindsay, Tom, good morning. We are live here in Waikiki along Kuhio Beach, and as you mentioned, box jellyfish are expected to swarm over the next 3 days. Tasha said we could see them really across all shores, but specifically the south-facing shores and east-facing shores as well. We are here with Doc, a retired dentist who is a volunteer with the Knights of Columbus, and we also have Tom, a former Marine here. Thank you for your service. They are volunteers, and they come out here along Waikiki Beach every month here to pick up jellyfish. Doc, what have you seen so far?
So far today, it's been pretty much of an empty day. The jellyfish were supposed to be in, but they're not here. But I believe they'll be here probably more tomorrow. But when we come out, if we don't find the jellyfish, we'll clean the beach. There's always trash on the beach, and we enjoy cleaning it for the community.
And they walk around, let's show these buckets. They walk around with these buckets and these tongs, and this is what they pick the jellyfish up with, the trash as well. These have since been emptied out, but earlier this morning they were actually filled with trash. So just a reminder, people, make sure you pick up your trash and watch out for the jellyfish as well. Now, you also come out here not only picking up the trash and jellyfish if you see them, but also educating visitors and tourists who may not know there could be jellyfish on the way.
Well, when we come out and started this program, we wanted to know why we were out here. So we educate and inform and collect the jellyfish. And because most of these tourists out here, they have no idea that the jellyfish are even here, let alone on the beach. So we show the jellyfish to the tourists, and we encourage them to participate and help us pick them up. We tell them a little bit about the life cycle of the jellyfish and make it so actually the holiday here is a little bit more enjoyable.
And as we mentioned, the box jellyfish typically come out based on the moon 8 to 10 days after a full moon. Back in May, Memorial Day weekend, that was a huge issue here in Waikiki. I believe there were about 5,000, maybe a little bit more box jellyfish spotted that were washed up on shore. And ocean safety lifeguards actually reported about 1,000 stings. What did you see?
We came out here actually Memorial Day itself. And in this stretch from the Royal Hawaiian to Hapalulu Grind, we collected over 6,000 jellyfish between 6 and 7:30 in the morning. And we ourselves also treated a few people for stings. The treatment for stings is the one that you've usually heard, which is the vinegar, a spray mist is fine, and then hot shower. The heat will deactivate the protein causing the pain. But if it's a burning pain, and so some people want to take a cold shower, well, that just prolongs the discomfort for you.
All right, Doc and Tom, we appreciate it. Volunteers, Dawn Patrol from the Knights of Columbus here out in Waikiki every month collecting those box jellyfish. If they see them, they are kind of difficult to see. They're a little translucent in the water. So if you head out to the beach, surfing, swimming, just make sure you watch out for that. And if you do get stung, you can always head over to one of the lifeguard stands as well. For now, Lindsay and Tom, we'll send it back to you inside.
You know, I'm not worried at all because Doc and Tom are on it. They're clearing out all those jellyfish. And the shirt's Dawn Patrol. There's
right.
a couple of legends.
Thank goodness for Dawn Patrol to the rescue
for sure. But
every
in all
dawn.
seriously, though, you know, do watch out for those jellyfish. It's not fun being stung, for sure. All right, well, time now 6:43. After the break, we'll have your Island Business Report.
And also, the countdown is on with exactly a year away. How Tokyo preparing for the Summer Olympics next year. You're watching Good Morning Hawaii. We'll be right back.
We always wanted to move into our own home.
It took us a couple of years finding some place that was perfect for us. And we were just like, okay, how can we afford something like that?
Angela helped us understand the process bit by bit, treated us like family. That relationship was more than a financial transaction. That was the difference between the other places and Hawaii State Federal Credit Union. Oh my goodness! This is our superhero.
From the moment you leave the beaten path and walk through our palm tree grove, you are greeted with aloha and treated like ohana. Come encounter an authentic Hawaiian experience at Paradise Cove, Hawaii's premier kama'aina luau. Enjoy Hawaiian games, live music, hula lessons, canoe rides, all topped off with a stunning sunset backdrop. As you delight in delicious Hawaiian food and colorful entertainment from across the Pacific, make your reservations today by visiting paradisecove.com. Paradise Cove, Hawaii's best luau.
Got a chip or star crack in your windshield and it's safety check time? Repair your windshield before you go. Your chip repair may even be free, depending on your insurance. Book now. Free quote at aceautoglass.net or call us.
Your comfort level, and that's your all. That's when you get in bed and you're like, oh. And we also look at your support.
KITV.com news sponsored by Slumber World.
Enter to win a trip for two to a pro football preseason game in San Francisco on August 10th. All you have to do is go to any Foodland location, find the Miller Lite display, and scan the QR code on the poster for your chance to win round-trip air travel, hotel, and tickets to the game at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara.
The Pro Football Preseason Flyaway promotion is courtesy of KITV4 Island Television.
If your child has a common orthopedic condition, that doesn't mean you can only get common treatments. You can choose Shriners Hospitals for Children. Our world-class care is not limited to insurance networks or to what's been done before. The same doctors who innovate treatments for the most complicated orthopedic issues will help your child grow and develop properly. And we'll give your child a whole lot more than medical treatment. Shriners Hospitals for Children, the most amazing care anywhere.
Shriners Hospitals for Children, Honolulu, the most amazing care anywhere.
646, and that system that brought cooler air to the Midwest, the Northeast, continues to push south and bring storms to the Gulf Coast. We're continuing to track that disturbance. Also, temperatures are looking hot, about 107 in Phoenix and 102 in Las Vegas of what we are expecting for today. Also in the Eastern Pacific, we are still within hurricane season, so you still want to stay prepared. Tropical depression, we are continuing to see it move toward the northwest at 7 miles per hour. And right behind that, this disturbance just south of it, we are expecting that to develop to the ending of this week as it does make its way over warmer waters. The other tropical depression is continuing to break apart with wind shear and cooler sea surface temperatures. Closer to home, sunny skies making its way through for today. Sunshine, winds, and light trade showers for the windward and Mauka areas of what we are continuing today. Also highs of 92. Surf for the east 3 to 5 is sunny for today. Later tonight, your lows is 77 and your sunset at 7:14. Now here's a look at your traffic. Traffic is backed up from Maya Heights overpass all the way throughout the H1, H2 merge and backed into just a bit of Waikele due to an earlier accident this morning. As you do make your way into town spots are looking clear. No other major accidents or stalls, but keep in mind if you're coming in from the west side to most likely either use the zipper or your alternate on Kamehameha Highway, again, due to those accidents that did cause a lot of gridlock out on the freeway. Again, traffic is backed up all the way throughout Waikele now. Your alternate on Kamehameha Highway is pretty much heavy throughout the beginning of Pearl City and then clearing up closer to the stadium. Over to you.
Thanks, Tasia. Well, UPS is expanding its delivery to 7 days a week.
And Hawaii's $18 billion tourism industry is hurting from the U.S.-China trade war. Jane King at the NASDAQ now with those stories and more in today's KITV4 Island Business Report. Good morning, Jane.
Good morning. Stocks are down today. A couple of reasons for this. One, the Department of Justice announcing a sweeping review of some of the big tech companies, and also Boeing had an enormous loss in the most recent quarter directly related to the grounding of the Boeing 737 MAX. Well, the ongoing trade war between the world's two largest economies is threatening to cut off a once steady flow of Chinese tourists to Hawaii. As of June, Chinese visitor arrivals have dropped by about 36% compared with the same period last year. That's according to figures provided by the Hawaiian Tourism Authority. In 2018, nearly 10 million travelers from around the world visited the Aloha State, generating $18 billion in tourism, and about 20% of those were from Asia. Well, American trade negotiators will soon head to China for face-to-face talks as the world's two largest economies try to strike a trade deal. CNBC says White House officials are eyeing a longer-term timeline to strike a deal, maybe as much as 6 months. Meanwhile, Chinese state media reports that China had taken steps to start following through on its promise to buy more U.S. agricultural goods. Small businesses in the U.S. can now sell their products on China's version of Amazon. Roughly 1/3 of buyers on Alibaba are U.S.-based. More than 95% of sellers come from China. This plan will open up markets to U.S. merchants in countries including India, Brazil, and Canada. They'll also be able to sell to other U.S.-based businesses. And UPS will start delivering packages 7 days a week. This follows the same move as FedEx, as the two package giants try to control the growing demands of online shopping. UPS also teaming with CVS, Michaels Crafts, and Advanced Auto Parts to use as many as 12,000 of its stores for pickup and drop-off locations, and it applied to the FAA for a drone delivery program. From the NASDAQ market site, I'm Jane King for KITV4 Island Business Report.
All right, thanks, Jane. And hard to believe the 2020 Summer Olympics exactly 1 year away today. Now, this is the second time the Summer Games will be held in Tokyo.
And the winners' medals have an interesting twist this year. They'll be made out of old cell phones and other electronics. Now, it's all part of the Olympics' Everyone's Medal campaign. Organizers called on citizens to donate devices that could be stripped of metal. And the concept has been chosen from more than 400 entries from design students and professionals alike. And the opening ceremony, again, as Tom mentioned, 1 year from today. And interesting point, this is going to be, hello desk, this is going to be the first year, we'll stay here, the first year that the Olympics is going to be introducing surfing as a sport.
Yeah, so if Hawaii doesn't clean up the gold medals, then I don't know if there's a better sport for us to win. So, and Tasia was telling me she's going to teach me how to surf, so
that's right.
Maybe I can, it's not too late for me to sign up for the Olympic team.
You can win that gold medal metal made of cell phone droppings or whatever.
Cell phone droppings.
Whatever metals it was.
Guy can always dream, right?
That's
All right,
right.
well, Taja's got a last check on your weather and traffic when we come back. Stay with us.
Broadway in Hawaii welcomes the Phantom of the Opera to Honolulu. Tickets on sale February 8th.
See the phenomenal new production of the world's greatest love story, The Phantom of the Opera.
Premiering at the Blaisdell Center August 7th through September 1st. Visit BroadwayInHawaii.com for tickets now.
Pack your bags and be ready to go to Las Vegas instantly with Vacations Hawaii and KITV4 Island News. Enter at KITV.com and watch Good Morning Hawaii to see if you're the winner. Be ready to go to Vegas with Vacations Hawaii that week. Pack your bags. We go Vegas.
St. Francis Healthcare System is creating something new and exciting, the St. Francis Kupuna Village in Liliha. The former hospital campus is being transformed into a health and wellness community for seniors and their caregivers, featuring a skilled nursing facility and an array of physicians in different specialties, with future plans for assisted living and independent living and a senior community center. Call today for more information. St. Francis Healthcare System, creating healthy communities for Hawaii's families.
Enter to win a trip for two to a pro football preseason game in San Francisco on August 10th. All you have to do is go to any Foodland location, find the Miller Lite display, and scan the QR code on the poster for your chance to win round-trip air travel, hotel, and tickets to the game at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara.
The Pro Football Preseason Flyway promotion is courtesy of KITV4 Island Television.
It's that time of year again. Catch Giants baseball on our sister station, KTV, all season long. For the complete game schedule, head to our website, KITV.com.
Giants Baseball in Hawaii is brought to you locally by these sponsors.
Thursday, GMA's hitting the road, and
we're popping up in Pittsburgh. It's Good Morning America's big summer road trip.
Thursday, wait till you see the surprises we've got coming your way.
This is gonna be so good.
For your Wednesday, we are expecting sunny skies. The trade winds up to 25 miles per hour. Temperature highs up to 92. Isolated showers for the windward and Mauka areas for your morning and evening, typical with that trade wind pattern. Most of the moisture and cloud coverage continues to be for Kauai County, but looking around 2 o'clock and well enough into the remaining of the afternoon, sunny conditions from today for a long period of time into your weekend. So no interruptions there. High pressure system will continue to give us those breezy winds. Breezier throughout Maui County, expecting 91 degrees around your midday. So just a heads up for the warm weather. Also isolated cloud coverage for the leeward slopes of Hawaii Island. Breezier conditions by tomorrow. Temperature lows tonight will be up to 78 and sunset at 7:14. Now here's a look at your surf with Sonia.
Hi, good morning. Like you said, we have easterly winds 15 to 20. North Shore mostly flat, west side up to 2 feet. Makapu'u and Sandy Beach checking in 3 to occasional 5-foot beach heights. Diamond Head a little bump up to 2 to 4. In town 1 to 3 with some pluses. We're headed for a high tide at 10:45 this morning at 1.3. And that's our surf, brought to you by Movati Coffee, featuring their line of Aloha Granola. Perfect, be healthy and delicious every morning. Check out Aloha Granola at MovatiCoffee.com. Back over to you.
Thank you, Sonia. Lots to get to with our traffic. We do have another incident that has now moved into the triangle after Aiea Heights overpass, causing some stall. Moanalua Freeway, we are seeing some moderate traffic. The viaduct is a bit better. We also have some major traffic on the H1 eastbound direction due to a couple accidents earlier this morning. West side traffic has improved, only to be stalled at Waikele and then making your way into town. We also have an accident at Fort Weaver and A'ava Drive. This is out of Eva Beach. Northbound direction is just congested as you make your way onto the freeway, also through Geiger. Makalapa Gates is pretty much at a stall right now. Very heavy traffic getting into Pearl Harbor this Wednesday. Your average speed across the freeway about 13 miles per hour. So very slow morning. If you have two or more, definitely keep in mind that alternate route, the zipper lane. Back to the desk.
All right, Tasia, thank you. And happening right now in Washington, D.C., the highly anticipated testimony of former special counsel Robert Mueller. And what you're taking a look at, the second hearing, which has just started. And special counsel Robert Mueller now taking questions from members of the House Intelligence Committee.
Into the most serious attack on our democracy by a foreign power in our history.
Now,
all right, and as you heard, that ongoing questioning, we've heard all morning him kind of dodging some of those questions. Certainly Democrats trying to get to the bottom of that as well. We've heard a lot about the obstruction of justice and now the questions with that. So certainly we're going to continue to keep an eye on that. But for now, thanks for joining us on Good Morning Hawaii. We'll let you continue to follow along with this special counsel Robert Mueller as that continues all morning long here on ABC.
Experience the bold, crispy, mouth-watering flavors Popeye
Laid out multiple offers of Russian help to the Trump campaign, the campaign's acceptance of that help, and overt acts in furtherance of Russian help. To most Americans, that is the very definition of collusion, whether it is a crime or not. They say your report found no evidence of obstruction, though you outline numerous actions by the president intended to obstruct the investigation. They say the president has been fully exonerated, though you specifically declare you could not exonerate him. In fact, they say your whole investigation was nothing more than a witch hunt, that the Russians didn't interfere in our election, that it's all a terrible hoax. The real crime, they say, is not that the Russians intervened to help Donald Trump, but that the FBI had the temerity to investigate it when they did. But worst of all, worse than all the lies and the greed is the disloyalty to country. For that too continues. When asked if the Russians intervene again, will you take their help, Mr. President? Why not? Was the essence of his answer. Everyone does it. No, Mr. President, they don't. Not in the America envisioned by Jefferson, Madison, and Hamilton. Not for those who believe in the idea that Lincoln labored until his dying day to preserve. The idea animating our great national experiment, so unique then, so precious still, that our government is chosen by our people through our franchise and not by some hostile foreign power. This is what is at stake. Our next election, and the one after that, for generations to come, our democracy. This is why your work matters, Director Mueller. This is why our investigation matters, to bring these dangers to light. Ranking Member Nunes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome, everyone.